Details from the script. This is the game room, or as I like to call it, the Scream Booth. As you're all well aware, this is the month where we await All Hallows Eve. Would you like to play a game? A really scary game? Well, I have just the game for you. But first, you must take the saw and get the key out of your own... Yep, October, almost time for Halloween. And I got a scary little treat for you. And this one's possessed by a demon. It's a little gem that you may or may not have heard of called Gargoyle's Quest. Pew!
1,000 years ago, superstition and the sword ruled. It was a time of darkness. It was a world of fear. It was the age of gargoyles.
No. Although that Keith David, that voice is dreamy. Gargoyle's Quest is one of those rare spin-off games that takes a character from a well-accepted franchise and pits you, the gamer, in brand new surroundings. Despite having a familiar main antagonist turned protagonist, developers were given a chance to branch away from the original game it spawned from. And it gives the series itself a chance to create and attempt new experiences, new stories, and gameplay methods. For a better-known example, think of Donkey Kong Country, from Rogue Girlfriend Stealing Monkey to Banana Horde and Island Hero. Unless you're DK Jr., then the roles are just all out reversed and stuff and whatever. The story is thus. You are Firebrand. Excuse me just one moment, please. Yeah, in Japan, he goes by a different name, but what the hell is an Arimer? You'd think there'd be some sort of translation from Japan, but no! There's seriously no definition for this. Okay, whatever. I should probably give the artist some credit for making up a name, but wait a minute, why isn't he red on the box? He looks like the Green Goblin's more cheerful cousin from Brooklyn.
Benny, how's it going? Hey, what do you want, Gino? I got my hands busy here.
I'm a magical skyfrog.
I guess this is another one of those cases like, you know, the box from Kirby where he's white, but he's really pink, and we're going into a entirely different subject here. Anyway, Firebrand is the proud guardian of the Ghoul Realm. The Destroyers have returned to wipe out your planet. Wait, Ghoul Realm is a planet? Why are their destroyers even more evil than the friggin' demons of Ghoul Realm? This seems very odd. Is Green Remember an alien? Does Mars have an underworld? Perhaps the manual within will shed a brighter light on this debacle. I just have to get it out. Now, the major motion picture Willow is available for your Nintendo Entertainment Oh, wait, sorry. It's right over here. It's here in this thing here.
Ages ago, the friendly Ghoul Realm was invaded by an alien force known only as the Destroyers. The Destroyers almost succeeded in capturing the Ghoul Realm when an incredible fire came out of the sky and eliminated them. The secret of that powerful file was lost through the ages, and the Destroyers are back for a rematch. The only clue to the survival of the Cool Realm lies in the hint that the sole heir to the Red Gargoyle can bring back the magic flame as Firebrand. Guardian Gargoyle of the realm, you must discover this heir to the magic flame and bring peace to the kingdom once again.
I can't explain shit!
Okay, I love how vague and weird some game box and manual descriptions are. You can truly immerse yourself in a game if it's left to interpretation anyway. It makes the game experience much more open and creative sometimes. We don't really need to know what this Ghoul Realm is all about or who exactly these destroyers are in comparison to the Ghouls and Ghosts series. It's kind of neat how the series steps outside of that to make its own tales. Besides, all we really need to know is that the world you reside in is in desperate need of your help and you're the last chance of true survival. So let's pop this demon in and make our own interpretation. Oh, I suppose we'll be playing an RPG. Overhead camera, little NPC character sprites, and roleplay dialogue. What? The king has been what? Don't leave me in suspense! Oh, thank you. Maybe you can tell me what happened to the king. Okay, why not? Who they? How about you? Well, will you tell me about the king? Is winter coming? Don't you die on me, bro! Don't you die on me! So we venture forward, and now it's a side-scroller. That's a bit misleading, but whatever, here we go! Right off the bat, you learn your basic strategies. Firebrand is a clever little guy. He can cling onto walls, breathe fire, and you even have a momentary flying ability that leads you sideways across in midair. But you should know your wing strength before trying any risky jumps, and yeah, this game has stats, but you don't really gain anything with experience points or anything. You do collect these bottles, or vases, or vial. Let's see, here we go. Vial, a small vessel or bottle, usually of glass, for containing liquids or medicine. So it's a health item? Spoiler alert! No! Wait, you use it to buy stuff? Vials apparently are the currency of the underworld, so I guess if you break it, you're plum-tastically out of luck. I'm seriously curious what the exchange rate is in the Ghoul Realm. It must be phenomenally expensive just knowing how fragile pottery can be.
Dad, that's the last payment. Man, it was a lot of time and hard work, but it was worth it. I can finally get that car. I'm ruined. He's going for the bank!
And every time you grab one of these things, a fanfare stops all sound just to announce your accomplishment.
Huzzah! You've got a vial!
And with this precious donation, you too can feed a helpless, starving abomination in the Ghoul Realm. So you can trade these vials for this Talisman of the Cyclone, and that's entirely it. But it counts for an extra life, and believe me, you're gonna need them. This is one of those lose all your lives and you're back to the beginning of the stage sort of deals. But what I don't get is this zombie guy here always says it'd be greedy to have more than one. What the hell does that mean? I'm a friggin' demon. I can be as greedy as I want. No sense in bringing morality when you're in the pit of eternal damnation.
Put all your talismans in a brown paper bag! We're gonna burn this mother to the ground!
Now, to discuss the powers, you have wing power, life power, jumping power, as well as a selection of fire-breathing power-ups that can all provide different advantages. You can access these powers by pressing start. Much like another kind of game, maybe? As you progress, you'll become stronger with powers given to you by different means. This is all just meant to progress, and is more necessary to continue than just optional weaponry to access areas. It's really quite linear with the illusion of choice, which isn't a bad thing, but it does leave out variety. Okay, enough technical details? Continuing on, dodging all the demonic butterflies and sentient fireballs, you finally reach the boss, a fishy, blimpy, wiggly hand thingy ball. I realize that my facial expressions are quite limited. However, my initial reaction to this particular beast can best be summed up by this image I've illustrated for you all. You know, I gotta say, there are some pretty crazy things out in the gaming world, but I can't help but have a laugh at this thing. And this is actually pretty impressive for a Game Boy game. You're not really given a whole lot of space to move around in, and it can be pretty challenging, but there is some amazing detail and creative gameplay here. The music itself also leaves a very haunting vibe throughout the game, giving a bit of a feeling of medieval horror. It certainly makes you feel like you're in this cavernous realm meant for these weird creatures. The Game Boy has a very limited palette of tone, but with what they've managed to accomplish in sound is adventurous as well as foreboding. Now that the ocean-dwelling Madball is destroyed, we're once again venturing into the overworld, or would that be considered underworld? Oh, well, okay, this is actually pretty interesting. As you move about, you're caught in some random battle sequences that are set up like a Final Fantasy game. Well, in the sense that they're random encounters. In these random encounters, you have a small setup that may have a few enemies you have to conquer. So be sure to get rid of all those clansmen dancing around stroking at invisible banjos. And there's no way to escape. You have to defeat all the enemies to progress, or just lose. Like a loser! This may seem tedious, but it's not really that much of a chore unless you're wandering about in the overworld for hours. Between the actual stages, this sort of nuisance is a novel idea, but I think it worked nicely in an actual RPG setting. Don't get me wrong, I think this is actually a really interesting mix of gaming styles, and I think it could be utilized well. But sometimes I wish I could get some sort of leveling experience, but nope. So, here we are, a quaint little town filled with poor zombies and demons that seem to be cowering over the fact that these destroyers are attacking the realm. Jeez, I never thought I'd have to tell a zombie to man up. Seriously, what does a zombie have to lose anyway? Oh, I'm sorry, you're not a zombie, you're a ghoul. There's a clear difference. As we wander about the plights of this humble demon village, we meet up with Jark, the quote-unquote mayor of the village, who looks awfully familiar to the boss in Ghosts and Goblins.
Ooh, series connection!
Apparently this guy lost his gremlin stick. And I'm left to wonder, this guy loses his stick and all of a sudden he's powerless? Why was he such a pain for Arthur in the first place? Arthur could have just taken his stick and he'd be all, "Oh, got your stick!"
Oh, blast it, my one weakness. I like that stick. That stick felt good.
These demons seem to be getting less and less threatening the more I venture into this game. So kids, if you see a monster, just go up to them and give them a little tickle. Because with the kind of things that they go through in hell, all they really need is a little hug and comfort and attention. Poor little guys, with no one to comfort them. I ache for them. Fly free, little demon. Fly free.
So after a harsh, grueling battle with this living monster castle,
I achieve the gremlin stick. And take it back to the village where everyone awaits my return, and everyone seems to want the gremlin stick. They all seem to say it's theirs, and they're all saying the same thing. And Jark doesn't take it. He's just really happy about it. This is getting scary. I was seriously wandering around forever until I realized you have to select use the item in front of him. Oh! Okay. You know, I wonder what would have happened if I gave it to one of these other guys. Maybe an alternate ending, where I foolishly allowed a pawn the most powerful weapon imaginable, where he doth open the gates of hell, and unleashes a power of which no one foresaw. Nah, they just don't care. Venturing forth, you'll find another town. Apparently they're under the Destroyer's spell, but they're not really attacking you, they just plan to eat me if I'm loafing about, so no loafing for me, I'm going to bread. I need to cross a bridge, but I need the wings of a falcon, but I can't find them. But they tell me there's a tree behind a palace, so I finally find that. Then this spooky sheet ghost man stops me and I have to fight now, I do realize that it may be a little taxing for you, the viewer, to sit there and basically watch me explain a game in detail from my experiences playing it. But I feel that some things are far too good to just brush aside and certainly need a bit more of a moment to dwell upon. Yes, Pitbull-faced gorilla snowmen that toss their heads at you! And they say games are not art. I also can't get myself to leave this part out where you meet the Baron Baimon.
Oh, are you so much of a baron that you need the extra E in your titles?
Baimon befuddles me in a way I've never experienced in a game before. First off, he doesn't ask you a question, but it still warrants you to respond in a yes or no answer. The obvious response to this, I suppose, is no. And it works. Because if you say yes, he calls you a chicken, with no other option but to actually respond in a no. Because logically, if I say no, in this context, it's like I'm denying anything he has to say to me as fact, thus warranting my worth and knowledge that there is a margarita in the desert or some such mess. So apparently, in the bowels of the underworld, it has become opposite day. So, anyway, later on, you soon learn that you are next in line at the title of Red Blaze, the true protector of the realm. But to prove your worth... seriously, what's with proving your worth? Can't these guys just trust the fact that you come all this way through hellfire and brimstone, fighting misshapen abominations to save your planet? Anyway, you gotta destroy the real Red Blaze to get his power. Whose name happens to be Rush, I fell. Well, if you didn't rush, you wouldn't fall. Then you can fight the true demon taking over your realm. Okay, wait, hang on. If the guy who defeated the destroyers is still around, why doesn't he defeat the last boss? Why do I gotta do it?
And it is here that you finally meet your fate with King Briga.
An elephant-headed, four-armed mutation of the thing that was in the background of Dalzium's stage. And oddly enough, you get a choice in the matter. To fight him and save the world as your forefathers have done, or join the silly-looking thing and rule the world together, but no! 'Tis a trick! He takes your power and reduces you to the demon you started. I actually tried a few times to beat this guy in this state, but turns out it doesn't really do anything. You just have to beat him with your red blazing abilities and restore peace to this hellish realm of fire and destruction. And with that, you deserve the praise of a hero. And as thine reward, you are offered the opportunity to become the all-powerful ruler of this planet, known as the ARF. No pain. No oppositions. No... Hey, look, a guy in his underwear. Oh, God! You know, there are games where, hey, it's fun to play the villain, but I'm honestly confused to what exactly I'm rooting for here. Though, in the long run, it's just a game with a fun, very different surrounding and protagonist. We can only be dashing knights and superheroes in spandex for only so long. It's refreshing to know that we have a game like Gargoyle's Quest to add to the varied library of truly different and intriguing game heroes. This game is certainly creative amongst the evil walleyes and pestilence-ridden flying cow skeletons and friggin' snail bulldog-clawed skeleton kings. This game reaches far into your imagination and engulfs players in its simplistic and difficult gameplay. Some would call it unbalanced, but I for one applaud its oddities. It has a lot of interesting takes on both role-playing and side-scrolling genres, mixes it up and creates its own persona. And even though it's not the perfect example of this, it is doing something that a lot of games aren't, and it certainly deserves the attention for doing so. I applaud you, Gargoyle's Quest. I'm certain there are much odder things out there, but, well, for something so simple on a console with even more limitations than a Nintendo, I mean, well, what can you add to that? Well, I think that's enough scares for now. I think I can rest assured knowing the evil trapped within this game could not possibly escape. Join me next time when I discuss a truly scary game. Little Nemo the Dream Master. Sweet screams.